Hello and welcome to KamenRider Blackman. Say, it's been, I think, a while since I've done a worst list. Well, time to change that. Because here are the top 10 worst Sentai mechs, in my opinion, that is. And because this is, and time for some, you'd say, backstory on this list, too. This is something that I've personally done in my spare time, like a worst list on Megazords, just looking over and seeing which ones don't look so good or just not my personal favorite for some reason. Now, keep in mind right now, this is all based on aesthetic and appearance. And so, with that said, the actual list, starting off at number 10, which is Shurikenjin. Alright. I think I've said this before about Shurikenjin, but before I get to that, I want to talk about the aesthetic. First of all, the aesthetic of each of the individual mechs alone look too plasticky. They look like toys. They look like the type of action figures that go with Mega Blocks. And it sort of suspends my disbelief in these being actual giant robot Zords. Like, the only one that looks legit is Red's. Because Red's is simple. He's that standard. Red's is that Zord that's effective on its own because it's a ninja. And now I can finally get to what I want to say that I possibly have said before. A dump truck and a train. What does a dump truck and a train have to do with ninjas? This is the one issue that I truly have with this mech. None of the Zords actually relate to each other or have anything in common at all except for contemporary Japan. Like, red, blues, and whites, they can have a commonality with ninjas, but once again, a dump truck and a truck, what do they have to do with ninjas? You can try to make whatever excuse you want for the train. Yeah, you can make whatever excuse you want for the train, but a dump truck. What the heck? And like what I said too, the aesthetic of it just doesn't look good. And this is literally coming off of my top 10 best mechs list with O-Ranger Robo, where all of the pieces were different, but they had something in common with ancient civilizations. This, not so much. It looks like someone thought of the first few random things and just brought them together, because why the hell not? And it shows, partly. But anywho, that's why it's at number 10. But, number 9, Galaxy Robo. If you're unaware of anything from the Showa era of Sentai, Galaxy Robo is from Mask Man. And damn spam calls. Anywho, Galaxy Robo. Those giant hands. You know what they say about a person with giant hands? That they have unappealing colors and a ginormous head and feet. Because, I'm sorry, the look of this alone it just looks so bland. And, like, red, blue, and yellow, those are colors that have looked great together for years, but it just looks so carny-ish. Like, this mech looks like Galaxy Robo looks like it should join the circus. It looks like it should join the circus. And it's just so bleh. Like, And I think Galaxy Robo is supposed to be like some truck or something. Instead, it looks like a cotton candy machine or a popcorn machine formed its own Megazord. And it's just, ugh. Just, eh. It's a, eh. Anywho, number 8. A little less and a little more with Go Buster O. Okay. Go Buster O. Once again, coming off of my top 10 best mechs list, what was on that list was Go Buster Ace. And him alone, he looks great because it's a card that forms its own. It's a card that forms. It's a single card by itself that forms into a Megazord with an animal motif, and everything looked fine with it. But once it combines and makes the actual primary Megazord, it's a bit jarring and it's really clunky. Like, even like the toy is literally worse. The feet, like, Blue makes the feet, and they don't, and it doesn't even cover, like, it doesn't even cover Go Buster Ace's legs entirely. So instead, it looks like he's wearing leg warmers. Not to mention, yellow as the arms isn't a bad idea at all, but it has some pieces just hanging out, like maybe some rabbit ears or something that just hang out there that makes it look a bit floppy, and it makes Go Buster O just look so clunky, so clashed together, and it feels less like a Megazord and more like a Bionicle, honestly. If you remember Bionicles from you were a kid, then you know what I mean. Like Bionicles with... I was right. They look like... It makes Go Buster O look like a Bionicle. But instead of looking like a bunch of colorful bones, it looks like a robotic... It looks like a robotic... It looks like a robotic skeleton-like action figure that's sort of like... That almost looks like it could be sitting. And it's just, even the helmet is a bit... Now, okay, let me talk about the helmet. The helmet looks a bit interesting because it's not that the gorilla head's turned upside down. It's that the helmet, it looks like it has a lip piercing. Now, I'm looking at this, and I look at that and I think, what? Does it have a piercing? Not to mention, in Go Busters, when it combines with the frog, it makes much more sense because it's scuba diving gear. But the primary mech alone is... What the heck? Ugh. That's just... Ugh. Anywho, number 7... Ryu... Let's... I'm not even going to compare it to that one. I'm not even going to compare it to this one. Number 7, Ryutei Kureno. Now, understand what's so strange about this? When Ryutei Kureno first appeared, I actually quite liked it. It's probably because it has that feel of... Okay, but let me talk about Ryutei Kureno now. It's trying to do what O-Ranger did when it combined with Red Puncher and made, I think, Buster O-Ranger Robo, with the shoulder cannons and whatnot. But it missed by a long shot because one, O-Ranger Robo and Red Puncher, they were both at the same height. And so they just merged together there. So, and the first thing they automatically do is make the dragon a backpack, which that's not how it was at all. Not to mention, like yellow and green are on, not to mention yellow and green are on top of the backpack. That's sort of, that's not the right place. It looks like it would have been better if orange and sky blue were at that position, because it makes green and yellow look like they're there to be pointy. And imagine that, just wearing a 2-ton backpack with a sword there and a cannon up here while you're trying to like fight or something. Like, it would never win a fight. I mean, Ryutei Kureno would never lose a fight because it could just yes, it could probably try to bring down that backpack with the sharp part, or hell, maybe the bully could just, or monster could just grab that backpack and just punch it mercilessly, which makes that part a problem. Not to mention, they didn't really use this combination often, like at all. I don't know why, because they can switch pieces with all of their combinations. So I don't know why they couldn't have a replacement or use a replacement for like orange and sky blue and the arms. That sounds like they literally could have done that with any other piece. But it's just, yeah. Ryutei Kureno. Kureno alone looks fine, but once it has that backpack on there, it's a problem. Because it looks like it's heavy on them to begin with. Like, oh, Jesus. A pen just hit my screen. But next, number 6, Super Turbo Robo. I can do this. I will not be depressed during this worst list. Nope. I will not be broken. Because Super Turbo Robo, it was a mistake. Just Super Turbo Robo was a flat out mistake. Because here's why. The arms are skinny and the legs are huge. The legs and feet are huge. And the chest is blocky as all hell. It's like, it skipped, like, this, like, Super Turbo Robo, it works out on its chest and its legs, but it skipped arm day. Like, here's the thing about mechs in general, I don't ever complain about the head, like, at all. Like, at all. I don't give a shit about the head. I'm looking at, like, literally everything else. It has scrawny legs, but it has scrawny muscular legs, but big ass feet. But it has scrawny arms and a huge chest. Like, I can pick stuff up, guys, but only with my feet and my chest. I can't use my arms. That function needs to do something else. It's just, The colors on there look great, but ugh. Not to mention, this has been my issue lately with mechs. It's that the platform feet shoes. Some do it right, like here's the thing right here. With Super Turbo Robo, it's an awful looking mech. It has huge feet, but the platform shoes thing, it's doing it right. Which will bring me on to the next Megazord on this list, which is Cho Cho Tokyu Dio at number 5. I think I've realized something when I get older, or this could still just be me, but stuff that I like when I was younger, it comes back later to not look so good. Because when I was younger, like, understand me right now, or at least let me get my opinions of the Tokudra mechs right now. Individually, they look simplistic, that's fine. Combined, a little too simplistic. Like, Tokyu Yongo's mech, no, Tokyu Rokugo's Orange's mech alone, it looks good. It's most likely like the best mech in that show. But when it combines and make Cho Tokyu Dio, I feel like I can see a few issues with this mech. For starters, my issues with the platform feet. Here's the thing about platform feet that some don't, some need to. Here's the thing about platform feet that needs to be done right. Like, the feet, like, the smaller feet can't be, like, the other feet that are standing on top of them, they can't be smaller than the actual platforms itself, because it just looks so, it suspends some disbelief for me design wise, because the legs for the shoes, they go back to like here. And if I can look at a mech and try to make a few modifications myself to make it look a bit better, that's a problem. Let's see here, because they have two mechs that are literally at the sides, probably to keep it from falling. But I don't know. It feels like you can sort of. Could they possibly have those two in the back of their. Could they have those two probably be at the back, be the heel of the feet, to have the mech more in the middle to actually go along with the platform shoes? Would that be an issue? I actually would want to see if that would make it look less bad. Like, not only that, this is also another thing about Chocho Tokyo Dio and Cho Tokyo that I'm curious about. Then again, I could just be over analyzing things, but those shoulder cannons up like this, that could just be me, because that's Dizillo's arms, but it doesn't really save the case with this Megazord in particular. And it's like, yeah, I'm right, it's the arms. But my point still stands about, like, sort of everything else with Chocho Tokyu Dio. Sorry, not sorry. But speaking of which, things about when I was younger that I thought were still fine, but when I get older now, I realize not so much anymore. Bringing me to number 4, which is unfortunately on this list because it really makes me sad. And number 4 is Zuo King. Now, when Zyuohger was out, I binge watched that show from beginning to end. And there are good moments in Zyuohger, but one of the biggest things that really brings this show down, you can ask anyone that's seen this show, are the Mechs. Rubik's Cube Mechs. Like, and I'm just talking about the primary Megazord. First of all, they all start off in that cube. They all start off as cubes, and when they combine, they're cubes. So, which is weird because yellow is the actual, because yellow's part where the legs come in are somewhat. Here's the thing too. Like, I'm gonna show a picture of Cube Lion, Yellow's mech, and once it comes down to, here's the thing about that. Once it comes in and forms a cube, it makes, and when they form the Megazord, Yellow makes the legs. How does that work when you have the head to think about and the entire structure of how you made this whole mech to think about? Like, you already failed immediately there. Not to mention the design of it and everything. It makes me sad because I like Zyuohger. But looking at the primary Megazord, it literally makes me think of Minecraft. And now I'm just gonna do just this. This literally, because I'm now literally looking up right now when Minecraft came out. Just so I'm literally looking up right now, when did Minecraft came out? In 2009. Minecraft came out in 2009, and Zyuohger is the 40th Sentai anniversary that came out in 2016. What the honest fuck? Like, can't even. Not to mention, there are some mechs in this show that don't look. Not all the mechs from Zyuohger look terrible, but for those that stand out, it's unfortunately Zuo, the primary mech. Yeah, Zuo King. But there's still others. Like, the final mech's not bad. The final mech is okay because of the upper half of the body, and Wild Zuo King, it's not terrible. But moving on now to the top three. Speaking of which, number 3, Kyutama Jin. Fuck all, like all of the sympathy that I just said for Zyuohger, none of that is given to Kyutama Jin because it is so goddamn stupid. Like, I'm not going off a script or anything. This is pure opinion. Kyutama Jin looks dumb. It looks like a straight up. It's the Christmas tree Megazord, basically. That's what Kyutama Jin is. Not to mention, it doesn't have any legs. It has limbs. Like four Kyutamas alone make like skeleton limbs, and it doesn't even have arms. It has rocket boosters. Like, no, you're a glorified metal Christmas tree, and you can't even deny that because the head has the star on top. The head is the star on top. Okay. It's like, it's just, you can't take it seriously, like, at all. Like, Rute Kureno, it has a giant backpack, but you can take it seriously. This, not so much. It reminds me, like, Kyutama Jin, it suspends my belief in it being a Megazord so hard that thank you for reminding me that you are a toy commercial, Toei. Oh my god. Even when Kyutama Jin first came out, I didn't like it because I knew it looked dumb. But now, number 2, back to Zyuohger and back to not taking the Megazord seriously, Wild Tosai King. Now, oh my god, looking at Wild Tosai King, I had mixed feelings about it even when it came out because it has most of my issues on here. 1, green and yellow, their Zords as cubes are the platform shoes. No. And not to mention, it doesn't really have, the arms are cubes too, like the cube arms that apparently, but it gets made up for because the cannon and sword are part of the mech, are part of the combination. But still, like, you can't take this mech like, you can't possibly take Wild Tosai King seriously when it has cubes for shoes. The arms don't go. It has cubes on the arms, but like what I said, it has a cannon and a sword on there to make up for it, so I guess that's okay. But still, it looks like, once again, Mega Blocks. You took a bunch of like you combined possible, like you just, it's Mega Blocks. Like there's really no other way for me to really, I really can't say anything else except for Mega Blocks, because that's where my mind goes. The upper half of the body, where blue and white are the shoulders, and red and his other, where red down, where red's where he's at. That's all fine, but still, it's sort of pathetic in so much that I need water. But it's okay, because afterwards I'm going to take a shower and wash my eyes out. And speaking of washing my eyes out, number one, all of my hate, all of my problems, all of the issues that I have, everything that should not be. Number one, Good Cool Kaiser vs X. Where do I start with this? Oh, I have an idea. The train arm, the long ass train arms on that body, because when Talkyuger did it, it worked with their theme. This, not so much. The different type of shoes that it has on, that's a problem in itself, but pink and green are at the sides to knock stuff down, because that apparently worked well when it was a platform and it was done in Shinkenger. Oh, not to mention, just so I can go on more of a tangent, blue and yellow, they're hanging out on the sides of the arms, because let's go back to Q Ranger with the chameleon and the swordfish at that position with the backpack. It's like, it's not that they didn't care, it's that they did not know what to do with all of the mechs that they had. And look at what they got. Something horrendous, something just off, and something that really fits with the design of the monsters of the show, that just makes it look flat out ugly. Even when they use CGI for this combination, it's also ugly. Everything with this mech is just off, and it doesn't work at all. Like, literally, like I said, pink and green are there at the sides of the feet to knock stuff down. And my point is proven more, because Pink's mech makes a baton to hold. Not to mention where blue and yellow are. Interchangeable. A middle finger. And now for the last piece of all. The big ass helmet that red becomes, because once again, Shinkenger. And if anyone's asking about the random face that's in the middle, no worries, I know where that's from. Ninja. Yeah. A lot of bitterness really went into this list, and a lot of bitterness really came from every single mech design that I've looked at so far. And it feels so unhealthy. Well, that has been the worst list for Megazords. Yeah, I've been itching to do this. Yeah, I've been sort of itching to do this. I've been sort of itching to do this video for today, really. It came to mind about when I wanted to do it, and I decided. I originally was thinking I wanted to wait and hang out with my friend Thomas to actually do this list. But in terms of mech designs and what I have on here, I don't know if you would agree with me or disagree. And so I can just find something else to do with him. But yeah, all of my opinions about these mechs are just so true. Well, I think about that wraps up this video, as it's going on now for 32 minutes. Thank you for watching. Please not forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and be sure to tell your friends about KamenRider Blackman. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.